It all starts with a dead girl.
In The Medium, you play as Marianne, a 20-something-year-old girl who we quickly find out is, well, a medium. Who would have guessed that, right? The game starts out with a scene of a little girl running through the woods, terrified for her life, it seems. She is then seen being shot by a mysterious man once she reaches a pier. We are then jolted back to reality as we realize this was just a dream that Marianne has been having, and we are quickly dropped into the gameplay of The Medium, which consists mostly of walking around a limited area to find the key to go on to the next, even more limited area. The Medium is a game that suffers greatly from a horrible introduction. I almost lost interest with the game as I stumbled around this starting area, trying desperately to find the elusive tie clip that I needed to progress to the next area of the game. The problems that are present in the first area will often continue through the rest of the game. The main issue being the game not communicating properly to the player what power they need to be using in order to progress. I searched every room of this small apartment 10 times over before realizing that I needed to use Marianne's insight ability to be able to move an object to finally find what I was looking for.
There you are.
One problem I was having with the puzzles of this game was when I would have to use the outer body experience power that Marianne has. With this ability, Marianne can use her spirit form to get through areas that her physical body cannot. This is a super cool ability that I wish was utilized more. But that's just the problem. It wasn't utilized that often, and I would completely forget that it was a thing and struggle with super simple puzzles until I finally had that aha moment for the third time of remembering that she had that ability. Now, these problems that I have with this game might just be my own stupid brain not being able to hold on to the knowledge of her powers for very long. Let's be honest, that probably is the issue. But for a game of this length, about 6 to 7 hours, I'm not sure why they couldn't have just put in some audio cues for Marianne to say, just as a reminder for the player that they can use that ability. It really puts into perspective how some hand-holding in games can be pretty nice. These issues aside, The Medium is a game that I really hope people get through the honestly very tedious start to experience all the good it has to offer, which it has plenty of. While the gameplay isn't anything spectacular, the way the developers have gone about having the players experience this world is. At certain points, as you're going through the world of The Medium, Marianne will be taken by these episodes of headaches, where you come up from them to see two versions of the world being rendered, one of the physical world and one of the spirit world. This gameplay mechanic is super unique and allows the developers to come up with great ways to have the player explore these two worlds simultaneously. Some areas in this split world are easily accessible to the physical world Marianne, but might be blocked off by some meaty flesh curtains for the spirit world Marianne. Ew, meaty flesh curtains. This effect looks great and definitely helps add to the tension, as you can be pulled into the spirit world full of skulls and dead things at any moment, and some of the things from that world can also come into the world of the living. This leads us to the main baddie of The Medium, the Maw. This towering monster will show up randomly as you're exploring the decrepit resort known as Niwa, or is it Niva?
The Neva Workers Resort.
This thing is relentless once you come into contact with it, and the first couple encounters that you'll have with it are super tense and really enjoyable. There were times that I was exploring the physical world, trying to find out what happened to all the people in the resort and why you were called there, happy as a clam, and then I would hear the thudding of this beast's giant steps, as it had decided that it wouldn't just torment me in the spirit world. The subversion of my expectations was awesome, and I wish that The Medium had done more things like this to shake up the formula. That wish, that The Medium had just done more, is a common theme with the way that I felt while playing it. I wish that I could explore more of the world. I wish that it wasn't such a linear experience. I wish that it had just a few more scares. I wish that the story twists weren't so obvious. I wish. This game had so much potential to be the next big psychological horror game, and in some areas, I think it knocked it out of the park. From the fixed camera angles reminiscent of games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, to the wholly unique aspect of the split worlds gameplay mechanic.
The spirit of this place. It never stopped burning.
There is a lot to like about this game, but there's also a lot that they could have done better. The movement is kind of clunky, the game really isn't all that scary past a few early instances, the ending is kind of a thud. All of these things take away from what could have been a great game, but with all this in mind, I still really want to see more of this world and its characters. I really hope that we see a The Medium 2, even though that would be such a stupid title. Please call it something else. And from the looks of it, this game has sold rather well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get to dive back into this world in the next couple of years. I hope that they smooth out some of the issues that I had with it in the next installment. So, I would encourage you to try this game out for yourself, if you're into split personalities.